In this video, I want to talk about tendon strength because in a lot of my videos and everyone else's videos, we focus on strengthening the muscles. And of course, that makes sense. We have to strengthen our bodies to enhance our martial arts. For my Muay Thai and for my Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I have to do a lot of strength training, but also recovery training. Sometimes just to keep my body in the fight, just to keep my body capable of doing these martial arts. But what I've come across recently has shown me that I was missing a key component, and that was strengthening my tendons. A lot of times I was strengthening my muscles, I was recovering my muscles, and then after I'd recover something, I'd get pain again. I would damage it because I don't think I was always fixing the underlying issue, especially when it comes to my joints, specifically my knees. My knees have been a factor for years. I've also had issues with my Achilles, with all the kicking. And I thought it was my calves. I thought it was my fascia. Again, working all the recovery, doing all the mobility, and getting better, but never solving the problem and never getting fully out of the woods with it. So once I started doing a routine that started to focus on strengthening my tendons, then I saw great improvement and great strength in my body's ability to do these things. So how do you strengthen your tendons? You'll find a lot of exercises out there, and those exercises are good, but tendon strengthening really is about going slow. So slow that you even stop. So what I learned after doing some research was that I needed to sit in some static positions to truly strengthen and thicken my tendons. And that means holding these positions for 10 to 30 seconds. Now, this won't happen fast. From what I understand, it could take months, but you have to be consistent. And if you haven't learned this by now from watching my channel, I'm consistent. So let's talk about this routine that I've adopted specifically for my Muay Thai. It helps strengthen my knees and my Achilles for my kicks and everything else. And I've really seen some strong improvements there. So what this is a set of positions. You're going to hold these positions for 30 seconds a pop. Now you can start out with 10 seconds, but never go any less than 10 seconds if you struggle to hold it for 30 seconds in the beginning. But you want to work up to 30 seconds. From what I understand, I don't know if there's any additional benefits to holding it for longer than 30 seconds, but 30 seconds seems to be the sweet spot. The first position is going to be just up on your toes, strengthen your Achilles, right? Boom. Now, if you need to be near a wall or something to balance, then make sure you do that, but you're going to push through your toes and get your heels as high as you can, and just keep driving your heels up. You may think this is working your calves, and by extension, it may be a little bit, but you really are strengthening your Achilles by doing this. Straight out of that position, I go into a standard squat position, okay? So I come down into my squat, boom, right here. Make sure that you don't let your back arch in the back. You want to curl your tailbone and try to sit upright. And you're going to be parallel, your thighs are parallel to the floor, and you sit here again, 10 to 30 seconds. The third position, you want to fall into a full Asian or passive squat or deep squat. Now this is a relaxed position, so you're not really strengthening your tendons here. You're actually kind of loosening things up. So what you want to do in this bottom position, you could sit here for a bit if you want, but you want to tense up your knees, and you'll see my butt elevate just a little bit, like right there, okay? And now you've activated your tendons. You just sit here for, again, 10 to 30 seconds. You want to do those three positions 2 times. Up on your toes, driving your heels up as high as they can go, standard squat hold, and then an activated deep squat hold. The next 2 positions, you're going to alternate between a traditional horse stance. There's a reason this position is kind of a cliche in martial arts. It really helps strengthen everything from your tendons to your legs and your hips and everything in these positions, and strengthen your legs for specifically kicks for martial arts. And the next is going to be, they call them like sissy squats, or I think a Hindu squat, some people refer to it, but it's just pushing your knees forward, okay? And we'll start with that one. So we're going to go into this first position. On your toes, your heels come up, you drive your knees forward. Now to counterbalance, you could put your hands on your shoulders and elbows forward, or you could counterbalance behind your back, but your heels have to be off the ground, and you're pushing your knees forward. You can start to, as you get strong in this position, you could sit further into it, but you're really strengthening the tendons in your knees here by doing this position. The next position, as I mentioned, is the horse stance, okay? So horse stance, you want to step as wide as you can. If you don't know, just do a count of 5. Feet together, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now me personally, I'm going to go a little wider, okay? The key here is to keep your feet in line. Put them on skis, okay? Straight like this. Don't have your toes and your feet angled for this first one. So again, go out wide and push your knees out. Now, you're going to sit down, and the key is to not let your back again do this, where your butt pushes out and your back arches. Curl your tailbone and try to pull yourself upright. And then you're going to get lower and lower and lower. Again, pulling your tailbone in, or curling your tailbone and pulling your pelvis so that your pelvis sits up, not arch like this, but it curls like this. So you get up. This is why you see them holding in this position or this position. You want to get upright here. Now this is going to take some practice, so put in the time. Again, get to that width. Keep your feet straight in line. Don't point your toes and heels at an angle. Push your knees out. Again, your back is going to want to do this, so fight that. Curl your tailbone, get your hips upright, and try to sit in an up position as you go down. Upright, boom, curl. Here, here, here. Just make sure you're upright as much as possible and your back isn't curving. I want you to do those 2 positions 2 times, 10 to 30 seconds each. Now the next position is to get everything in the hips. Now the issue that I've had, I mentioned in videos before, where I get lower back pain from a lot of kicking in Muay Thai, and just all my training in general, is my piriformis here, and it causes a lot of lower back pain for me. Started to affect my QL, my psoas, and everything on this side. I'm a heavy kicker on the left side. So this one really helps with that. What you're going to do is stand about shoulder width apart, okay? And then you're going to just bow, tilt forward. Now, this one, you do want your back to arch. You don't want to bow your back. That's a different stretch. That's a very effective stretch, and I've covered that in other videos, but that's not what we're doing here, okay? Put your hands here. I like to put my hands back here so my elbows flare out, so my back arches properly. And then you just go super slow. Do about 5 or 10 at this pace. Your knees can bend a little bit, to make sure that you can get deeper. But eventually you want to be able to keep your legs as straight as possible and then bow, which is really hard. I feel the stretch right about here. I can't go any lower than this. So there is a slight bend so I can go lower. One thing I adopted, I saw someone doing, is to throw my hands up so I could get even deeper. Here. Good. 5 seconds. Then, boom. 10 to 30 second hold. The last position I do in this series is just one of my favorites, this ATG or knee over toe lunge. Just driving as far forward as I can, pushing my hip down, down, down. Really holding that 10 to 30 seconds. You can have your hands here, you can hang them down, you can put them up. The key is just to keep driving your pelvis down. Here, again, driving that knee as far forward as you can, elevating this heel. Drive, 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 pushing this hip down. Hands here, here, or just by your side. Just make sure you're pushing your pelvis down and really stretching and holding that position, strengthening the knee here. This whole routine I came across when I was looking for some positions to strengthen the tendons, specifically in my knees. And I found these positions and I kind of put them all together into this routine. And I started doing this, and I'm about a little over a month into it, and I truly do feel the difference. And man, it's so nice to feel my knees getting stronger, the tendons in there, my Achilles, especially from all the kicking. My Achilles, I've covered this in previous videos, you have to do the work to keep that strong if you want to be able to kick hundreds and hundreds to thousands of kicks and never let that thing fail to where you start throwing things flat-footed. So try that routine, guys, as an accessory to strengthen your body even more. You could do it a couple times a week. Me personally, I do it 4 or 5 times a week. I've gotten to the point where I love that, the strength that it gives me in specifically my leg, the foundation of my body from my waist down, that I pretty much use that as a warm-up for all my strength training now. But give it a shot, and I hope it helps you. If you are enjoying the content, please be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you in the next video.